I'm going to be doing a lot more of this stuff, educating people for free. Then obviously you'll have the option, if you like what I'm doing, to take it to the next level. But brief bio myself, I played football and lacrosse. I played as many sports as possible. My main ones were football and lacrosse once I got high school, college. Obviously, I did not pursue after that. I trained some professional athletes in those sports, amongst others, every sport pretty much, because the way I train, it's all about mechanics. It's all about exerting and creating force, being the best athlete possible. So it doesn't matter the sport, you're in the right spot right now. And you're in the perfect time to start because we're starting fresh. Like this is your first day meeting me. Nice to meet you. This is how it's going down. So I was able to train with somebody named Jay Schroeder, who trained a man named Adam Archuleta, who's now retired. He was a safety for Arizona State and then the Rams and then so on. And that's just how I found out through him one day when I'm 35 now, so I was like 16, freshman in high school. Someone in video and he invited me down, and I've been training with them ever since. Now that I'm older, I'm doing my own thing, and that's where this comes in. So I just want to pass on a little of my education, hopefully, and get a few new clients along the way that want to take it to the next level. This won't be for everybody. That's going to be hard physically and mentally, and you also get bored because you want to jump ahead of steps, and that's how you get hurt or you don't get the results you actually want. So take the time, and the first thing we're going to start with, I'm going to do it now on our first session with the intro, is breathing. I'm not going to get into different types of breathing. I'll do that along the way, but right now, just basically how we're going to be breathing the whole time during our sessions. We're going to be doing it similar to box breathing, but it's not. Box breathing is a great way to warm up. We're always going to be breathing through our nose. Rule number 1. Always inhale through our nose and exhale through our nose. Why? Because that makes you use your diaphragm. Use as much oxygen as possible. Keep as much CO2 out as possible. I hate giving numbers, but let's just call it 20% more oxygen. It's a big difference. For you naysayers, we can call it 10. I don't care. It makes a difference. So when you inhale through your nose, yogis call it Ujjayi breathing. Guys like myself call it dark fader breathing. I'm sure there's other names for it. But the idea is when you breathe through your nose, my dog's coming, you inhale up through your nasal. This is Izzy. She's a boxer. She's a big old gal. You inhale up through your nasal. So then it's like going to the top of your mouth and back of your throat and coming down that way. So it's kind of like making a Darth Vader noise, like that's an inhale. You hear that? And my belly just filled up big time. The shoes out of the way. I'll show you. So I'll do it one more time. Push it out and get my belly ready to go. So let's say I'm drawn in and I'm going to inhale. So I'm really in right now. Move, Izzy. So it came out and then I lock it in. That's like locking your bundas in. That's a brief hold to lock in. Then you exhale. Your belly button draws in and you're exhaling to the top of your mouth the same way you inhale. So it's a stream, making that. Your belly draws in and up. Then your ribs hugging at the end, but you're not letting your shoulders come forward, any of that collapse. So you're still staying in position. So it's like a start doing it with me. Here's what I'm doing. 4 count inhale, brief pause, 8 count exhale, brief pause. That's what we're going to try to do in every exercise we do until you start feeling like you're nailing it. 8 count, brief pause, 8 count, brief pause. You can jump it up that way, but that 8 and 8, 4 and 8, that's money. That's good. If you can't, 4 and 4 is fine. 4 and 6, I don't know, maybe you're a smoker or something. You're getting back in it. 2 and 4, whatever. Just work with it and know that the goal is 4 and 8 to 8 and 8. Always a brief pause to lock the bundas in. So let's just do 3, 4 and 8 brief pauses. I'll just use my hands. Ready? Begin. All right,
Let's
training
stop
now.
there.
That's the breathing. That's what we're doing. That's most important. That's always how you want to start. You always want to keep that breath. That's going to help you stay in the zone. That's going to help you keep going. And anytime you are out of breath, try to come back to that breath. I understand sometimes you're like hyperventilating if you're going hard, but you're trying to stay in that zone. And to do that, sometimes you get overheated, and that's all right to take a big inhale through your nose and a big exhale through your breath. That's a cool down breath. That's fine. No big deal. But eventually you want to get back to breathing in and out through your nose, even if you're like really huffing wind and it's hard for you. Like, it's like anything. The CO2 is creeping in. Tell yourself you're okay. You have plenty of breath, and you will get back to your breath quicker. And you notice your ab muscles, your serratus, your inner cores, your what's it called? The muscles between your ribs. I can't remember. Everything's going to strengthen up, and it's just going to get easier and easier. It might be a challenge at the beginning, but you'll notice you're going to, just for the sake of you getting excited, you're going to get a really jacked core in a lot of different ways. You can't just get from like doing crunches and heavy weights. It's a whole new aspect of it. So get excited. Here's what we're going to do for the workout. Now we got all three dogs: Izzy, Boxer, Mosley, American Mutt, my girl, Nova, Costa Rican Mutt. Oh man, they're gonna be a problem. So what we're gonna do for our workout, this is the first one. So I'm thinking of this is like, say we're getting into it. It's a great time to start. We will start with upper body because that sounds like it's gonna be more fun. Most people like that. I actually prefer lower body, but my shoulders are messed up because I'm old. And let's grab something elevated. So right here, I have these blocks. They're about 6 inches. 6 inches to a foot is what we want. Here's some ideas in case I don't have yoga blocks or even parallel. It doesn't matter. Just regular grip's fine. You can stack pots and pans, buckets, couches, chairs, stools, rocks, anything, guys. It is super easy to figure this part out. So just pause it while you look. It's fine. And I'm going to get ready as well. It'll probably take me about 10 seconds in case you're good to go and you want to get on point with me. They're going to take half my mat. Huh? You're going to scoot over? Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't even do that many of these now. Hey, let me hook the good people up. We want to go wide. So I'm actually going to go. Get the hell out of here. Actually go the distance of my mat. So about 30 inches. It's going to feel wide. We will do narrow ones too, but we're starting wide. There's a reason for that. It's going to be harder, but it's going to force you to use better form. Make sure your shoulders don't run. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Let me grab a timer. So while you're setting up, it's about 20 more seconds. Okay. Put my timer right down here with you guys. Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? That's awesome. You're my friend. I know, no, boss. Say hi to the good people. Okay, I'm just running out of time, so I got you guys covered. Um, Unfortunately, I'll have to look back. It's going to be annoying, but it is what it is. Matter of fact, I won't be able to see it there, so I'll put it here. Oof, already fucking up. All right, oh yeah, back up. You give me anxiety just hovering around me. What is this? Back. So, what distance? So, if you were to do a curl or want to know, this is actually where you'd be in a curl. You just curl up from there. That's that distance. From here, elbows 45 degrees. That's chest distance. So, like if I was out of the bench press, it'd be like this finger on the bar, which is, boom, about 30 inches for me. Everybody's chest different. I have a wider chest. So do it accordingly, but it's probably going to be wider than you think. Here's the most important thing. I have to run through these cues. I don't care how boring they are, and then I'll start doing it. But if you don't do these, you need to stop, start over, and try to do it again. One, there's two muscles you're using primarily. You're pulling down with your lats and your back. You're pulling down with your back, particularly your lats and your scapulars. This is your lat. Your scapular is right in the middle. So you pull your shoulder blades down and those engage. See how that happened? Hold my lats and scapulars down. But sorry, I pulled my shoulder blades down and my lats and scapulars engaged. And you'll also notice my chest became proud, and my arms went from to the sides. So you'll notice by doing that, it lengthens your chest. It puts your body in this position, so you're not like that. That's the one thing we're never gonna do. We're never ever gonna let our our shoulders, traps shrug up, and we're never gonna let them shrug forward. We're always pulling our shoulder blades down, right here, 45 degrees, lengthening through the chest. Think of a bow and arrow. We're pulling down with our back, creating that tension to lengthen through the chest, then we're holding down there, and then that chest is lengthened, so you want to explode up to the top, and that's going to be a rep. But enough talk. Let's get into it. Draw your core in like we did in the breathing on the exhale. Draw your posterior tilt, that's your glutes under, Michael Jackson. Inner core, inner legs, draw them in. Don't let your legs come out. And keep in good, solid plank form. So let's start at the top. We're going to go for 15 seconds. That's about one good breath. 4 seconds, brief pause, 8 seconds, right? Brief pause. Let's get it. So try to do the breath. It'll make it a lot easier. Ready? Deep breath and exhale. And it begins. Breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pause. Now, press up with your chest. So I counted that one for you. I'm not going to count the rest for you. That was just so you can see that breathing literally was 15 seconds. You want to be stingy, you can call it a 14 count, whatever. So now I'm just going to do the breathing. I'm not going to talk. You know the form. Every once in a while, maybe I'll say one thing each time for you to focus on along the way so the form doesn't slip away. You don't have to keep going back to the first one. All right, right back into it. Pull down. Pulling down with your back and your lats. Hold. Exhale. Good. Cool. So you notice you get tired, you want to shrug up and do that, but if you keep pulling down, you feel that lengthening. I know in the beginning of these, you feel it in your shoulder a lot because you probably were guys, or even if you're a female, you're really tight in your shoulders, but eventually that's going to creep into your chest. And you'll notice the lower you sink, the higher you got to get the blocks, the more it gets in your chest. But you also notice the lower you sink, your elbows start to come together. So keep that chest big and keep the elbows out without letting your your shoulders come up or forward, and keeping the shoulder blades down. So keep shoulder blades down, pull down, create tension in chest. Set 3, go. The breathing, that was just my breath. We're going to rest again. I probably didn't give you too much rest time as I was talking, but this is our first one, and you'll notice on the next one, if this was easy, I'm just going to tell you to up it 5 more seconds or 10 and increase the sets. Right now we're doing 15 seconds, about 15 seconds rest, probably a little more because I've been talking, but that's going to shrink, maybe even to 10 seconds. We'll see how you feel. Expect 6 to 10 reps. I'll let you know as we're going. All right? And this is at, I don't know, let's call it 3. Okay, we're going on 4. You can tell my breathing gets weird. It's hard to keep your breath at the bottom, so it's easy to focus on that to kill time. Anytime you're like, oh, this sucks, or it's creeping in your mind, trying to get you to quit, just go back to your breathing. This isn't really that bad. We're just holding our body weight for 15 seconds. We're going to be doing this for a lot more. And it's not going to feel that bad. I'm progressing you into it. Remember, this is just the beginning. Big inhale and exhale there. Good. Oh, you see, you're getting stuck down there now. That was 4. I think I'll be going. This is the first one. I want to do 8, but I want to keep it realistic. Let me do a quick math because the time doesn't matter. I guess if I do 6, that gives you guys 2 minutes. I really want to be hitting 3 minutes at least, which would be 10. But so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do 6. So we got 2 more. And then next week, you're going to do 8. And the week after, you're going to do 10. And this is easy. You're going to make it like maybe 30 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, maybe 25. But we're progressing 2 sets each week. This is going to be a month-long beginner to intermediate isometric program. All right, 2 more. Ready? Big inhale at the top, 4 count lower, naturally. Big chest, pull your shoulders down. Inhale, 8 count, or 4 count. Hold, 8 count. Woo! Make some noise, but when I'm coming up, I'm really keeping my shoulders in place. I'm not shrugging up or anything like that. If not, stop. That's why I'm probably going to drop down on the last one just so people don't push it too hard on their first day. So this last one's the 6th set. Remember, we're going to do 8 total. You did good, Izzy. Whew. All right, one more for the good people here. Izzy. Izzy, baby. Get out of here. She's going to lick me. I feel it. Next to the lower. Right, begin. Good. All right. Good job, guys. That's not easy, especially if you've never done isometrics before. And if you're banging it out, like I said, you can do 10 sets. You can increase time. This is the beginner intermediate first round program. Moving on to the next one. I hope you enjoyed your push-up. We're going to do a scapular pull-up now. If you don't have a scapular pull-up, that's a bummer because it's so important. That's basically we're hanging on rings or a flat bar. And you're going to keep your shoulder blades pulled down, but you're going to lengthen through your side body. So you're not letting your shoulders shrug up or forward like anything else, but you're still creating length lower. Does that make sense? It does. Once you get on, it'll make a lot more sense. So, same thing as we did last time. I'll get the timer jabbing. Even when you're resting, breathe through your nose. I got doing some mouth breathe. Don't be a mouth breather. If you've seen Stranger Things, don't be like that. Even those little kids know. Grab a sip of water because we're starting up, and that might have been parching for you. Especially, you can notice this is just as hard mentally as it is physically. And if it's easy for you physically, it might be hard for you mentally. Eventually, it's all just going to be harder. It's all going to be easy depending on how you're progressing. But I got 3 months in mind to rush you guys. This one's mainly focused on isos. A little cheat. Next one mainly be focused on eccentric. And then we're going to start bringing them together within all different types of reps. Maybe we'll get into some of that earlier. I don't know. All right, we're just hanging. So when you hang, you're going to go to the bottom. I'm even one arm. I'm going to keep my legs up for the sake. Because when you pull your legs up, it draws your core in. So you'll notice, like, when my legs are up, look at that. When they're down, I'm like, wow. But it kind of pulls my lat more when it's down, which is good, as long as you're pulling your shoulder blades down. One thing you don't ever want to happen is just to go like this. I kind of hurt my shoulder joint. Where you're, like, shrugged like that. Like, pull your shoulder blades down, then lengthen through your side body. So you pull up, you're never bending your arms, you're wrapping your triceps. So that's a wrap your tricep. First thing you do when you get on. You get your triceps wrapping, that'll straighten your arm, and then pull up with your scapulars, your lats, so you're like that. Then exhale, lower, lengthen through your side body. That's the hold right there. Each exhale, a little lower, but keep pulling your shoulder blades down. You'll feel all the lengthening through that side body. All right, same thing. Let's focus on that breath. We're going to do 6, we can increase the time and go up to 10 as you go. But the idea is start with 6 reps next week, 8 reps, so on, 3rd week, 10 reps. Then we're going to move on from there. And if the time's really easy for you, you can move it between 15 to 30, whatever feels right. All right, let's begin. Oh, core engaged, always hug this all in. That's super important. squeeze your glutes, wrap your inner thighs in. You don't want your legs coming out. And if you want, you can bring your knees to your chest. You'll feel that compression. You'll feel that a lot more in your core. It makes it a lot harder and gets your shoulder mobility in a lot more too. So just be realistic where you're at. And let's begin. Come on. My dog's barking at. Is anybody at the gate? Is anybody at the gate? All right, come on. I'm sorry. It never ends. Let me make sure it didn't ruin my recording. It just gave you an extra 5 seconds of rest time. All right, begin again. You notice that's just the breath. We're just doing our breathing. I'm not even going to say it. We're doing the 4 count inhale, brief pause. 8 count exhale, brief pause. That's what we're doing 6 times. Here's step 2. Boom. I like that last breath at the end. It's like the end the most lengthened possible. You notice on the inhale, you kind of sturdy up, stabilize, and on the exhale, you kind of lengthen lower. But you're never pulling up on that inhale. It's like the air gets in to provide more length on the exhale. Kind of like when you're breathing into, if you do yoga or more isometrics, you're breathing into it to create that length. You're actually not holding in the position. You're constantly, this is the most important in everything, you're in every isometric, because actually in isometric extreme, you're constantly pulling yourself lower. So you're constantly lengthening that muscle. And maybe people agree or disagree, but the 2 ways you can get faster are by moving as slow as possibly or as fast as possibly. You'll notice a lot of my training's built around that. All right, ready? Begin. Try to keep my knees together. They always want to come out. That's something I got to work on. Strengthen my inner thighs. Just point out weaknesses. Everybody's got them. Boom. 3. All right, I messed my breathing up there, but I'm talking too much, and I think we're doing good. 3 more. I live in Costa Rica, so people don't, I don't have any cell service. When I turn these, I turn them off, and people show up anyways, so I have to stop and be like, is anybody there? Because someone will sit at your gate and say nothing for like an awkward amount of time. That's weird, but so, and even if you're like, are you there? They still won't say anything, and it's like, that's not my fault. Like it's, trying to work. Here we go. Let's begin. Good. I actually like a little more breath on that. I know these gets hard on your grip before anything else, but keep fighting it, and you'll notice the lengthening through your serratus and your lats. I'll pull my shirt up on this, and maybe you can see it. Now I won't get the time, but we're doing it by breath, remember? All right, so I start at the top, and then boom. So I don't know if you saw how much length I got there, but I think I got a good amount of length by the end. So, fuck, what count were we on? We either got 1 or 2 more. I'm going to do 2 more just because I would rather give you more than less. So, but if feel free to use this time. A little extra rest time. What we're going to do next is actually I'm going to have you do a standing curl with a barbell if you have it. If you don't, you're going to use a towel. You're going to pull it apart. But barbells, well, you know what? It's probably 50-50. Some people prefer the towel depending on the strength. And some people prefer the barbell. But remember, no one's watching. It's not a competition. It's all about form first. You're going to feel anyways. A lot of this is a mental battle. Good? That was good. All right. Gonna grab a barbell. get ready. You can do the same. So if we're doing a towel, go through the mechanics per usual. So if you're going to grip it, drive the balls of your feet in the ground. Grip your toes in, or drive the balls of your feet around. You can pull them up, and like you can slide a credit card underneath. And notice that engages your hamstrings, or gripping it might do it. Everybody's different, but push your glutes to your rear, squeeze your glutes so they're tucked under posterior. You notice when you do that, sometimes they want to come out, so wrap your inner thighs in. Now your legs are locked in. Draw your core in. Hug the ribs in. Pull the shoulder blades down. Boom. Chest is big, shoulders at the side. You're going to curl up, grab the bar there. That's your position. Anytime in any curl. So even on this, boom. So the most important thing when you're doing it with a towel is you're constantly pulling it apart. And that's going to pull your chest wide. You're going to feel your back lengthen. You're pulling your shoulder blades down always. So you're going to be down here, curling with your wrist up while trying to use your triceps to lengthen down, which will contract your triceps, lengthen your biceps, and you try to curl up, but you're not pulling apart. You're stopping that curl. That's for time. We're going to do for the breathing. The other bars I'm going to use same. Everything applies besides you got weight right down here. Okay? So let me start the time, and we got 6 of those. 15 seconds, full breath. Same thing for the rest. All right. Begin. Pull the shoulder blades down, pull the chest apart, curl the wrists, draw the core in, squeeze the glutes, inner thighs, press the balls of the feet in. It's a lot. If you want, curl up. Just biceps and triceps on the way down, set it. And when you bend over, core in, bend at the waist, hamstrings back. So it's like you're doing, actually right there. So it'd be boom, boom, boom. Mechanical. Everything's mechanical. Don't go off and have bad forms. It could only take one to be a little tweak, a little injury. All right. Same thing, just the breathing. All the same cues. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to breathe. So at the top, pull down with the triceps, lengthen with the biceps. Two. Still contemplating. I'll probably do one more workout with y'all or make this one optional. If you're in a crunch, we'll keep it to 7 total because legs we'll have to do 2 of 1 to repeat a side like a lunge. I might do that here. I'm not sure. I want to add a shoulder routine in. So after I will, and that will be an option if you want to put it in. But these 3 will be the most important. They're going to cover the most aspects of keeping your overall body in form. All right, ready? Number 2. Good. If you want to curl up, keep the core drawing, bend from the waist, push your glutes to the rear, you feel it in your hamstrings, lengthen down. It's all good. And you want to roll up. The only time I will say, we're always doing right angles. We're never letting our knees pass your toes. I know lots of people are like, oh, it's impossible, blah, 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 whatever. Try not to do it. All that's going to do is give you shin splints and knee problems. And that means your hamstrings need to be lengthened more, and they're probably weak. And that's the majority of the people are quad to hamstring dominant. You're going to do a shitload of hamstrings and glutes. It's going to look good, though, and it's going to feel a lot better in everything you do in life. So always 90-degree angles. Just like I said with the curl, down with the triceps, up with the biceps, just like I said with the push-up, down with the back, up with the chest, with the squat, down with the hamstrings, up with the quads. At the top, yeah, your glutes kick in, your hips kick in to go back. There's also a point where your triceps at the top of a bench or a curl or whatever kick in, and your biceps are actually used to go down if you keep them at 90-degree angles. It's how the body's meant to be used. I'm not making things up. I'm just going off the way we were created. You're never, there's very, we'll get to that when we get there. Let's get this set in. Ready? Begin. Good? I think that was 4. I'm doing so bad at counting. That was 3. All right, jump in the pool now. We're going to go through faster. 3 more. Then we're going to do the shoulder one. Yeah, I am going to make that. So it's 4 and 4. This workout will probably take an hour because of all the talking I'm doing, and it's unfamiliar. After this, despite if you increase the reps and all that, this should be able to get done around 45 minutes. I try to keep most of mine under an hour. Honestly, I don't like working out longer than 40 minutes. So I do have plenty of 90-minute workouts if you really want to get it. But that depends if you're playing professional sports or trying to. Ready? Begin. Most of it is just maintenance when you get older. Like I can tell you, most of what I do is just maintaining, feeling good, and keeping my body in the most athletic shape possible so I don't get hurt and I can do all the things I want to in life and not be slowed down for myself, for my friends, for my family, all that, all what's to come. And that's what I'm going to do for you guys and some. You get a lot out of this. This will fix a lot of aches, a lot of injuries, everything. And well, I'm talking way too much. If you're hurt, another aspect of what I do is recovery. I'm a neurological therapist, and I can send you a ARP, a cellular recovery performance machine, and give you a treatment and fix pretty much anything. We'd have a quick consultation and then ship you a unit and do it all virtually, kind of like this. You'd be good to go. It's a great place to start, especially if you're feeling things during this training that you maybe think aren't right and you want to make sure. So that's actually, along with this, my other specialty, and I'm always happy to help. You can just email me. The breath. Lengthening down at the triceps, curling the wrist though, feeling it in the biceps. Pulling the bar apart. Proud chest, feeling it in the back. Good. I'm going to curl up and down. It's actually a lot easier for me. What would make this harder, and I suggest I should mention this already, everything against the wall. Here, I just want a nice background for y'all. That's it. Heels, butt, back of head, elbows, all that. Everything against the wall, you're going to notice it's going to make you use your hamstrings, your glutes, your core more, and your biceps in general, or it's going to make you want to fall forward. It's making you stand straight up and use the proper muscles to do so. So please do that. Any standing exercise, even on the shoulders we're going to do next, I'm going to advise the exact same thing. Last set. Pulling down. Good. Shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. What's up, Biz? This is a kilo, 5 kilos, so about 11 pounds. Grab this, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever you're feeling. What we're going to do is a plate front delt raise. Yes, against the wall. If you have a wall, I'm not going to use it so you get this party background. How we're going to do this, we're going to grip it at 10 and 2, like on a clock, right there. Pull it apart, wrap your triceps. Just like a few other things you might have heard of already a million times. Wrap triceps, pull apart, most important. I don't care if you're something like this or like this. I like to go like this. I'm driving. So when you're up, down, that pull apart stays the same. Shoulder blades always stay down. None of this shrug up. I understand it's a lot of mobility. It is what it is. If you can't go up higher, still keep your core engaged. I don't want to see this either. You get death, the rash. You gotta keep your core engaged and get it. Force you to get shoulder mobility. None of this cheating shit doesn't count. The sets don't count. And I'm not even saying we're doing that. We're actually gonna hold it, and it's gonna be just like we were before, holding, pulling apart, right? So you can look through it. So about 45 degrees. You'll be against the wall. All right. Let me run through the cues. You already know the cues now, so I'm just beating a dead horse at this point. Balls of the feet pressed on the ground. Hamstrings engaged. Inner thighs engaged, rolled in. Core, posterior tilt and squeeze. Feel that lengthening through the hip flexors. Draw your belly button in. Squeeze your serratus, your ribs in. Pull your shoulder blades down. Proud chest. Wrap your triceps. Boom. There it is. All right? We're going to always relaxing up here. We don't want to, the traps are terrible. Always relax those. That's how you get a shoulder injury. They look good. There we go. We're already going. Shit me. Right in mid-range. I'll do it from the side. It'll be a little easier. Oh, yeah. I'm going to hit the time. All right. One breath. Same deal. I already went through the form. So I'm just going to do breath. Starting at the top. Boom, one. This isn't that bad. So if you got to adjust the weight, go ahead. I'm not. It's not about that. We got to get this done for you guys. I'm going to do 6. And like I said before, you progress to 8 next week, 10 the following week. And I'm going to have 3 isometric workouts for this first week. This is beginner intermediate workout training program 1, session 1. Up, pulling shoulder blades down, extend out, wrap those triceps, extend out, pull shoulder blades down, draw the core in against the wall. You're really fighting it. It almost wants to pull you forward. It makes you use the hamstrings and the core. Good. You can set it down if you want. This is probably too light for me, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I should probably be using 10 kilos, which would be like 22 pounds. It's 2.2. All right. Here we go. Last one for upper body. You lazy mofos would probably stop here. The good ones will proceed and just get the lower body and be thankful that they did it, because they're going to tell themselves, oh, I'll do the lower body tomorrow or later, and you won't. 99.999% of you won't. So just realize you're lying to yourself, and let's just get through this. And I'm going to apologize that it's taking longer because I'm talking longer, but you need this. If you don't like the information, I'm probably not the guy to train with for you. Because form is most important. You want those sexy muscles, you got to have good form. Or you can go just lift heavy weights, look like a meathead and tear your muscle trying to, I don't know, play beach volleyball or do anything athletic. Start counting. I'm going to go down it. Teach it their own. Let's start again. Here we go. I'm going to call this set 3. We think is Big Izzy. Ay, 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 ay. All right, don't do that. You can do the ay, 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 but don't do the shimmy. Unless you keep your shoulder blades down. Keep pulling it apart. Keep the traps away from the ears. I'm going to let my breathing go completely. Stay up there, dog. All right, we got, 3 more? Get the crucial breathing on, and I'm sorry if you got the countdown and I'm off, you're good. After this, we're going to go to, I'm going to give you the option between a wall squat and a supported squat. I think you should do a wall squat. As a matter of fact, if I can do a wall squat and it stays in the frame, I will. If it can't, I'll do a supported squat. But try around with both, maybe even. But listen to the form first and understand the most important aspects before you make your decision. And I'll get that on the next one. Here we go. See, I slow my breathing down. All right, what do we got? 2 more? Let's botch this. 2 more. Get 2 more. Good, bro. Let's get into it. Let's do it. All right. Breathe in. We got 1 more. See, I should have been going this quick. It's my fault it's taking so long, but fuck it. Let's do it. Ready? Boom. Oh, and here's the most important wall squat. 1, these legs right here, 90 degrees. Like, I'm in a wall squat now. My foot's going to be like this, 90 degrees, pressing the ball of your foot in the ground, trying to do a leg curl like that while you're down in the squat. So you're doing like that. You don't want your knee to pass your toes. Doing the leg curl, you'll notice if I took the wall away from you, it's fall on your ass. But if you're leg curling hard and pressing the ball of your feet in the ground, you got a chance of staying in that squat like you were actually sitting in the chair in a perfect squat form. Your feet, the most important part, and I swear to God, I don't give a shit how many people tell you to make your feet wide. There is no point in any sport where you make a cut where both your feet on the ground are like this or like this. You're always hip distance. They always come back to exactly where you are. Try it out on your own. Ask a bunch of people. If you can find something other than some awkward ass sport that they've never heard of, it's a quick way to just blow both your legs out at the same time. That's actually how you get hurt. The less time you can spend on the ground, the more force you can create, the better, by using proper biomechanics. So 90-degree angles with your legs. most importantly, pulling down with your hamstrings, creating that bow and arrow tension in your quads, that lengthen when you pull down with your hamstrings, because you're going to explode up with your quads. Your glutes kick in at the top, and your hips kick back in when you go down. Hamstrings, hamstrings, quads, glutes, hip flexors, hamstrings, 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 hamstrings. See, it gets hard to keep your legs at 90 and get down there. See, I want to do that. I wish I could just be like I was in a chair, which is why I use this or the supported. And when we're squatting with weight, we're doing the same. Just keep shit 90-degree angles, flat against the ground. If you want, bring your arms out in front of you. You can hold weights, but make sure you're leg curling. Trying to use your legs to curl. You can hold weights and make the scapular pull-up hold. Pull your shoulder blades down. Or an upright, front raise hold. You could probably even do it. Just do this front raise from here. So I'll make it a combo so you can get shoulders in if you want. This is optional. Good? So you're pulling with your hamstrings. You can come up, use your quads. But when we do the lunge, which we'll do next, we'll do a lateral option. And I suggest no more than 5 pounds for these. 0 to 5 pounds is what I suggest. All right, let's do another. Watch how big it is. I'm not even going to get out of the way. All right, pull down with those hamstrings, leg curl, leg curl. That's why I wore the short shorts. If you're doing the front raise, go ahead. If you're not, you're relaxing at your side, pulling your shoulders down, everything, spine straight against the wall. Focus on that breathing. I like them both the same. I'll mix it up. It depends how erect and stable I'm feeling too. And if I want to get some shoulders in, I like to do yoga, so my shoulders get toasted sometimes. Doing it's tight. So but notice that's actually harder than you think to get up that way. That's one. We got 4 more. I'll talk less on these and focus on the breathing. But one thing to think about when you're at the bottom, there's 2 ways to do it. You can curl your feet, drive the balls of your feet in the ground and create that leg curl. You can lift your toes up and take the pressure off your heels so you can actually slide a credit card underneath. That puts the weight straight on your balls. Sometimes I feel it a ton in my hamstrings. That's the way to go. Sometimes I don't. I like the other way. Try both. You'd be surprised. But make sure you're 90 degrees always in everything. Pulling down hamstrings. Just right that way. Balls up. Yeah, you feel it. Different parts. Different every time. I'll go in front with you. What is this, 3? Let's just call this 3. Once I get up, I'll explain. Good. If you can't get up that way, put blocks underneath you. You can sit down and get up that way. I probably should mention that. It helps to have like 2 yoga blocks stacked, or put your hands in up, help that way. Just don't get up with bad mechanics. You know, if you got to fall to the bottom, like do an awkward tumble over, just don't do anything janky to fuck up the stability and mess up the stability and progress we're doing. All right, let's say we got what? We're going to do 3 more because they're bad. And then I'll tell you what I was going to tell you before. All right, pull down. Get down to 90 degrees. You don't start at 90, start over and put your legs in a position where you are at 90. One thing you'll notice is people either pronate in like that or out like that. Just always make sure your knees not only are at 90 degrees that way, but actually directly stacked over your ankles. We always want that. Same with when you're doing like a push-up or a bench, elbows over wrists. That's so fucking important. If you're not doing that, you're wasting your time. Same with 90-degree angles. Wrapping triceps, always front raise. Always wrapping triceps at the top when you're extending out. Good. All right, just 2 more. Unless you know the count. If you notice, I messed it up. That's a cool guy back there, though. They're a good guy. He's a good guy. Because he likes to be in it more. All right, let's get to it. You know, normally I'm more on point with the rest because I'm talking more and trying to keep it, our first one, laid back. Just know if you are comfortable and you like want to write, or I'll write it down and if I can in the bio so you can go on your own and use a stopwatch or your clock. Just notice we're going to do the same amount of rests as we do for the timed hold. So 15-15, you know, if you want to keep it more consistent, because some of these have been 15-15. Some of them have probably been a minute, though, and I apologize. Same with the holds. Oh, that's better. All right, I'm gonna do one more for shits and giggles, and then we'll get in the lunge. Pull down hamstrings, hamstrings, hamstrings. Yeah, I'm just gonna do regular stuff. Always drawing core in, everything. Keep it tight. Always trying to create compression. Keep the spine, the back, all of it flat against the wall. Up. It's just hard to get up there. I got excuses. All right, what we're gonna do next? Lunge. I'm going to give you some options as I explain it, but grab some blocks just in case. So let's start right leg forward, lunge. So same thing as the squat. When you get in the squat, let's just start. I'm not going to talk about with my back leg's the right spot or not. Get in that squat, that front leg. What do we know? We want the knee stacked over the ankle. We want a 90-degree angle. We want to pull down with our hamstrings. We use your quad to come up. We don't want our knee to pass our toe, and we don't want it to go behind our toe. It's stacking over and staying at 90 degrees. You can drive. You want to be driving the ball of your foot in the ground. We know that. Lots of people are like, oh, use your heel. Like, unless you're trying to run backwards, or even then, we're not using our heel. I'm not training that way. You're with the wrong person if you like that philosophy. So you can lift your toes up, make it so you can slide a credit card underneath, or you can grip and drive the ball of your foot in. I like a little of both. That's what's going on with the front leg. So when you look at some of the stuff we do down the road and you're like, oh, that looks like it hurts my knees. It doesn't. Not if your muscles are lengthened and they understand how to use them, and most importantly, how to absorb and create force, because that's what it all comes down to, an ability to absorb and create force. And that's when your muscles, a shitty, unsettled, unlengthened muscles, like a bodybuilder versus an athlete, like I don't know, an NFL player. Difference could be muscles could absorb 100 times more. It's 10 to 100 times for short and lengthened muscles. So it's a pretty big difference in types of muscle fibers. All right, back leg. So we want it as long as we can. So I actually like to go Miyagi, step up, extend, and step into it. That's about the distance I want. And then I squeeze this back glute. I draw this core in and my ribs in. So I'm not even like that with my core drawn in. I'm kind of flat, like that, instead of that. That makes you pull your chest in. It makes you more straight up square. And you get them Brad Pitt abs. Push your heel back, drive the ball of your foot in, and that will strengthen. Push your heel back, drive the back ball of your foot straight into the ground as well, and that will help straighten that back leg. You'll feel that back leg contract. You'll feel this back glute contract, and this hip flexor up through the glutes and the psoas lengthen. Then you keep pulling lower with this hamstring, driving the ball of the foot in the ground. Keep pushing back, keep pushing down. Keep doing the same things. Core engaged. Point shoulder blades down, proud chest, elongate spine. That's exactly what it's going to look like. When you stand up, pull that hamstring, boom. And you can step back and get into it if you get used to it. Like I said, I might even want to step and push back and come there, but it's harder. You'd actually be like, and if you don't do that right, then it's all right to drop to your knee and then slowly get up. So before I get into it, I'm going to show you the other option. So if you do want to drop to your knee, get in that same position, and say you fail and you drop to your knee anyways. Right here, pushing all the same rolls, exact same rolls, pushing that heel to ground, foot back, squeezing glute, lengthen through here, 90 degrees, stacked, pressing ball to straight in the ground, lengthen. This is cool too. I'll let this slide as well for the same amount of time. You're creating all the same stuff. You're fighting a good fight. It's up to you if you want to cheat yourself if you're off the ground. And you can start at the top and feel that position. So those are the options. That's the form. Remember, your body's straight up, straight down. So when you come up, you don't want to come up like that. That's why you want to keep your core engaged this way. We're not, you know what I mean? So we're training you to be a real deal athlete. Your muscles develop accordingly, what you like. So let's begin. 6 sets of whatever. I'm actually going to start left leg forward. Why? Because I just did so much right leg showing you guys, it just felt better. So, yeah, I'm going to step into it and do it that way, but we're trying to lengthen it. Let me start the time. Don't worry about the blocks. I was thinking about elevating because it's nice as you go lower. like kind of like when I elevated on the push-up, you can find more length in your hips. So if you do get to that point and you feel like you have like a lot of flexibility, long, good lunge already, and your like knees just like hitting the ground, which mine wasn't even. So I'm not saying I'm the perfect standard for it, but you can bust the blocks through some elevation out. But I think most of you would be good like this. All right, let's step into it. Ready? Begin. Oops, that was a little loud, but I absorbed it with my hamstring. You see how I landed? Now from here, I can make little adjustments. See, I was like a little like that, which is fine, but I could really fight and lengthen through here, absorb through here. And then from this, if you want, you can do a lateral hold. I mean, you could, just one side's fine. So same thing, good. Now if you want to step, you can step back. Like, nope, don't do that. See, even I didn't do that good. So we're just going to rotate legs. I like that. I also like doing it on one side. There's no preference, and it doesn't matter. It'll be done at the same time. But for the sake of argument, we're rotating. So right leg, you can step back, or you can step into it, or you can scurry your way into it, but we're going now. Notice when I step into it 90 degrees, I extend my leg and I pull down. I pull it down with my hamstrings and the ball of my foot. Good. All right, 1. We're doing 6. It's not so bad. I talk too much, so Izzy. It's just tormenting them, but they show up. What am I supposed to do? If I was waiting on everybody's schedule here, it would never work. Oops. See, I did not land right. I wasn't focusing. Keep that core engaged. Remember, it's easy to want to go like that. You always want this, though. So it's, or if you're holding to the side. Good. See, I gotta go back to my breathing. I was getting frantic, and I know you guys are like, what's going on at the time? Because I'm not focused on my breath. So I've gone through this, and random people are showing up, and I'm focusing on my breath. Nova, come here. Come on. Hold on, guys. Start the other side. Come on. Go ahead. Go. Come here. Nova. Go on. Nova. Mosley. Come on. Come on. Mosley. Izzy. Izzy. Come here. Come on. Jesus Christ. All right. All right. I think we're on the right side. Ready? I'm sorry. If you already started, begin. You'll know when to stop. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the second set on my right side. We're going on to set 3 after this, but same rules. Bad side. Make sure your hips are square, so you're squeezing that back glute. This is coming forward, and you're curling with this, so it's kind of like, making a scissor action. Coming in tight. Keep your core tight. Good. Pull up. So, going on the third set. All right, step into it. See, I land right at 90. Boom, it's good. You can straighten out and lengthen from here. Sometimes I can lengthen my whole stride. But once I firm up and get that scissor, if you're holding out to the side, that's fine. If you want them shoulders, go ahead. That's stability. Breathing. Look forward. Focus your gaze. Relax everything you're not using, but stay in position. Like, you don't need to be like this to be relaxed. You can be good. All right. Finishing 3. Check out the short shorts on so you guys can see how it goes. You guys are going to feel great, too. You'd be surprised. I'm assuming most of you haven't really focused on isometrics for real, and this is going to be, it's a total game changer. Your strength will will include, increase as well as your speed, all that. This is going to strengthen your big muscles, medium muscles, your stabilizers. It's crazy. My trainer, Jay Schroeder, who I learned all my stuff from growing up, and basically trained me to be a neurological therapist and the trainer that I am. I had to learn how to hold everything what we're doing now for 7 minutes each. It's like Miyagi stuff, and you get mentally tough when you can do that. But your body, when you can lengthen to that point, and you can create long, fast, much tissue, muscle tissues like that. It's hard to get hurt, and it's crazy. It puts you on a different level. So that's what we're working on. Moving as fast as possible by creating an absorbing force as best as possible by making long muscle fibers. So, you know, the difference of what a bodybuilder and athlete look like. We want to look like athletes. You know this. All right, where am I at? All right, step into. I'm so bad at counting, guys. I'm sorry. This is 5, though, in my mind, and then I got to do the other side, and then we'll be going on 6. The good news is I'm going to make these individual. So if they're off, it doesn't matter. You can hop to the next video. It shouldn't make a difference. Just extra work, depending on where you're at. What week? Good. All right, one more on this side and one more set. Watch how you get stomped, Islington. It's a good girl right here. It's a little loud. You don't want to like land like a ninja, but see how I landed sideways. Come on. It's hard if this my back foot makes my front foot want to be janky. You could be holding the weight, whatever it is. Boom. So I'm gonna do one more each side. I might be done. I don't know, but I need these anyway, so it's all right. Then we're gonna finish with this hamstring exercise is easy, but it's up to you how hard it can be because you're lengthening the crate down. If you have a glute ham machine, which if I had, I'd be using that. And if you didn't, I'd be like, tough luck, you can do this because there's such a difference. And if you're asking, what is a glute ham machine? It's a GHR, glute ham raise. You put your feet in the back, your thighs on pads. Sometimes they're on the floor, so you got to pull all the way up from the floor. You keep this part of your body flat, and the curl is just coming from here. So you're curling from there, the whole body. This whole body's curling from your legs. So this would curl up and meet like that, kind of like a sissy squat, which I should have you guys do, and I will in one of the exercises. So that is the best way, extending out, holding with your glutes and hamstrings, core engaged. Not where you're like, if you're straight and extending out, it'd be like that. But lots of people like seem to like want to hold it like that. I don't know. We're not. I don't want any of you guys getting raped. Oh, so it's comical. It's not how it's done. That machine is so sadly used. It's tough. Anyways, one more set. Let's roll. Yeah. See, I gotta land like a ninja, like a ninja. But like I said, we're gonna do this hamstring leg thing. And I'm gonna show you a manual hold hamstring you do from laying the ground. I think you guys would like. Boom. I'm just gonna go right into it. Bang this last one out because I think see it land like a ninja. Straight. You know, next week I'm going to talk less and less because a lot of these rules apply. It does not matter, like, if we're doing iso holds or, like, iso extreme slows or, like, repetition type stuff. Like, you're still keeping 90-degree ankles. You're still doing the same rules with your upper and lower body to keep them in position. Like, all the same. Still the same muscles are being used. Nothing's changing. And that goes for your everyday life. So if you're bending down to pick something, you're using your hamstrings. You're coming up with your quads. You're not... People wonder why they get hurt. Like, you don't get lazy. Like, it's an everyday thing. It's a science. It's life. It's like, I'm teaching you how to meditate while you work out. Like, it's so much more than, it's not working out. It's so much more than that. So we'll dive into that soon. You'll figure that out real soon. And there's other trainers that understand this, but let's just do this thing. Standing hamstring stretch. This is the thing that gets me. So the trainer, my trainers and studies has found that when I always say the 6 inches apart, which is, it's like toes with the inside of your hips. Everybody think it's like toes outside of your hips, but like the hip distance is more like the 6 to 8 inches, maybe 10 tops right here. What we found out for hamstrings to keep them in line with the knees and the MCL and the ACL is you actually bring your heels in to 2 inches. So you're like that. You push your butt back out as far as you can. So you're not locking your legs, slight bend, push your butt back out. You'll notice you feel that in your hamstrings and your hip flexors, and you almost want to fall back on your ass, and you keep pushing. You're playing that game where you're pushing back so hard, keeping that slight bend, pressing your feet in the ground, and not falling on your ass. And that's how we're doing it. It's up to you. On the inhale, you find a little length up, and exhale, you dip lower, and you check that chin. We're playing that game, so we'll get one of those breaths in each. We're going to do that 6 to 10 times, depending on how you're rolling. All right, you'll see it from the side. It'll be a lot easier. And I'll show you and watch. And how you roll up, I actually prefer, this is again the only other way, because you're going down at the bottom like this. Is just bend your knees forward, let your knees pass your toe, or at least come to 90. It's the only time I'll say that, along with not keeping your feet pointed forward at 6 degrees. I know it's crazy, but we're making an exception for this one exercise. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Just make it a spinal roll. You know, why not? All right, starting in position. Feet start at 6 inches. Bring your heels into 2. Make sure they're equal. Push your glutes to the rear so you feel like your hamstrings engaged. I don't know if you can see them. I have a foggy mirror or window. Big inhale, extend. Exhale, lengthen. Tuck chin. Smile, roll up. Just like that. I'm just going to stay in this position. It felt good. I feel stretch. I actually have a little knee tenderness. I feel it on the outside. I keep trying to align and push straight and keep your hips in the line and try to, if you can see or have someone watch you, like see if one suffer or the other, like especially if you have like backs or coccyx issues, like tailbone issues. Make sure you're aligned here. You know, you need to work in your hamstrings. You need to work in your psoas. Supermans are great ones for this too. I mean, hit me up. I've got a million things for you, and I know a lot of you experience that problem. Same with your neck. Inhale, exhale. Lower, tuck chin. Glutes to the rear. Keep pushing back. Weight in the heels. The only time I'll say that too. But you gotta grip your toes in so you don't fall on your ass. Bend your knees, rolling up. It was, I'm so bad at counting. Was that 3? It probably was, but we're saying it's 2 because these feel good. Even though it's up to you to make these hard. Like I could just relax and do jack, but you're using your breath and you're lengthening and you're fighting for it. You should feel it. You should feel your body open up as you do it. All right? Going on 3. Remember, drawing your core in, pushing your glutes to the rear, trying to get your chest to your knees, then tuck your chin, cross your elbows, lay it back more. Again. 3 more. And then you could be done, or you can bear with me like I gave you that last shoulder exercise and upper body. And do one more round of something with me. If you're feeling spicy. All right, ready. Get in that position. Exhale down. Compact. Just good. What's up, Big Is? I know. We almost had a good time, but people just roll through here. It happened again. Now you're going back down. 2 more. I like to switch my crosses. Why not? Same thing. I always feel tighter in my right. I feel like I'm a little crooked these days. It's hard to find a chiropractor out there. I still like advise. Otherwise, if you have an art, hit me up. There's balancing protocols. All right, one more. One more, dudes. Remember, this is progression. It's designed to at least be 3 weeks, but you can bump it more. I like to say bump it 10 seconds and 5 seconds and 2 reps each time. So the next one could be 20 counts and 20 rests. Or, sorry, 20 counts and 8 sets. You know what I'm saying? And then third week could be, I don't know, 25 or 30 and 10 sets. But, you know, keep the sets going up in 2. And then up to you with the time. I wouldn't pass 30, though. We're going to be doing other things, so do not pass 30. Last one. All right, last one. Lying on the ground. We're doing GHR. It's a glute ham raise, hamstring curl. Lying on the ground. How are we gonna do it? You're gonna create the force. And you're gonna hold it down with your other foot. So this foot is like you're curling. Say my right foot. I'm just gonna bring this one up. It's like you're curling this one, like you want to bring it up, but I'm gonna hold it with this one by hooking it. We're gonna go. Same thing. One breath, 15 seconds, on and off. We're gonna rotate back and forth until we've done 16 each side. Because, like I said, I'm just starting with 8 and you'll start up by 2. All right, and squeeze your glutes, wrap the inner of your thighs. Your belly should be on the floor, but engaged. So you actually, it'll kind of be like this. So wrap your triceps even and curl like that. So you're squeezing your glutes on the ground, but you still have this gap and your ribs are on the ground because you're still drawing your core in. All right? Ready? Begin. I'm going to go straight off my breath because it's hard to look. It's easy to relax. All right, I'm going to switch sides. You know, if you gotta, this is up to you to make it hard. Feel free to grab blocks if it helps wrap, it does. But you don't need it. All right, same thing. Good. Switching sides. Same thing. 2. Good. Switching sides. 2 on the other side. Going on 3. Other side. Go. Going on, still 3, but hitting this other side. All right, 4. 4 on the other side. 5. All right, I've just been switching. I'm gonna do one more. I just got in the zone. I apologize. Last one. Last side. All right, now from here, let's just do 20 Supermans total. Switching opposite arm, opposite leg, switching tides. So 10 each side. Good form. Wrap triceps, use that glute, dorsiflex the foot. So, thumbs up. 3, 4. Core engaged. Try to go higher without letting your arms or your legs split out. 7. All right. That's what we're gonna do from here. We're gonna do just 30 Russian twists. So it's gonna look like this. I want you on this side again. Cross your legs like that. Scissor your legs. Engage that. Doesn't matter what side. Going right over. We're gonna twist from the trunk. So I don't know. We're not putting it down, but about here where you're tucking, drawing your core tucked here. So it's a twist from the trunk, keeping everything lengthened and straight. And you're trying to, once you twist as much as you can, try to tap the hands so you can get there. So we're just gonna do 30, 4, 5, 6, scissor, twist, trunk. Hey, 7, 28. We're going to 50. Twist, 40, 49, 50. Good. Last exercise, cannonball crunch. This is for your psoas and your abs. Lay down straight. It's going to also be a nice cool down. You're going to press your hands at your sides here. Draw your core and squeeze your ribs in. You're trying to create compression. You're going to use your hamstrings. Let me get on the mat. We're going to curl in, slide them in as you exhale your breath. And you're creating that compression. Bring your knees to your chest. Obviously, you're keeping them on the ground. When you get to the point where you want to go like that, you push your hands down, lift your hips up, and it's like crunching your neck. Keeping your knees together. Repeat. Let's do 10 to 20. This is completely up to you. It should feel good. As soon as you start arching your back and it's not a compression, stop. You're good. This is supposed to feel good. Keep your back, try to keep it flat, and try to keep your quads, your inner thighs wrapped. Your gracilis, your groin, your psoas, so your psoas gets hit. Keeping your legs together, your knees together. All right. So let's just do 10. Drawn in. Some people can lift it up like that. It doesn't matter. This is not a competition. This is a stretch. I always forget to tuck my chin up then, but that's right. Just because I just feel a little bit in your mid-thoracic. I gotta take a breath here because I messed my breathing up. Trying to get into one breath. Exhale on the way up to create compression. Press up at the end, then inhale. Now exhale, then inhale on the way down, I believe. Let's see if that was right. Yep. Inhale, crunch. Exhale on the way down. Let's get 8 more. Keep pressing everything on the ground. Don't let anything split out. I know it's easy to get lazy at the end. I have no idea. All right, I'm gonna go 4 more. I'm just going to 2 more in case this is hard, and you can add in more because it's the last one. So it's up to you. And now, I'm even gonna say, put your arms out and straight. Really hug in. You'll feel it more in your ribs, this area. So it's kind of like handstand mode. Maybe one more. Wrap the triceps, push it out, lengthen. From here, just Shavasana or whatever. Catch your breath and stabilize your breathing. That's the whole point. Get your heart rate back down to normal. This could take 5 minutes, it could take 2 minutes, it could take 20 minutes. It's up to you. But try to take at least some time. It makes a difference. Try to keep the breathing through your nose and stabilize it, but with less effort into it. All right, keep going. Don't mind me.